Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Jana and I was compelled to make a video today based on a conversation I'd recently had with a coworker, and it was about today's climate and being filled with anxiety and stress. And I am a pretty positive person. I've been described as sunny or coming across as very zen. And so I thought it was important for me to share the things I do or don't do to remain in that space. My life is not perfect, nor am I, and I have my days, but by and large, I live filled with joy and free of anxiety. So, here are my tips for living in that space. This is what works for me personally, and I just wanted to share that with you. So, the first thing on my list is reading my Bible. It is how I start my day, and I do get up early and make quite a bit of time to read it. I'm not saying that you have to spend nearly as much time. I do usually make an hour, but I know what it's like to not have a lot of time. Going to boot camp and being in tech school over this past summer, I was never alone. And so that time didn't really exist, but we did have Sundays. And so on Sundays, I did lead a Bible study, but I also did at least take 10 or 15 minutes to read a devotional. And so I only got that time once a week, but it's what I was able to do at that point in my life. So number 2 on my list, and this is something I'm sure you've heard a million times, but I write down 3 things I am grateful for. I do that every morning, and it just makes sure that I start my day thinking in a positive manner, being grateful for what I do have or where I am or the people, or it can be anything, honestly. And if you read some of my lists, you'd laugh, but they're things I'm grateful for. The third thing I do is spend time in prayer. And again, this is not a long, time-consuming thing. Get back to boot camp. I used to pray while we had our running sessions. So we would run 3 times a week. And for that 26 minutes of running, I just spent it praying. Now, if I have a moment and he says, please pray for X, literally it's a 2-sentence prayer and I move on. I had a pastor once who used to say, short prayers are long enough. And it's really about spending that, even if it's 1 sentence, time giving it up to the Lord. The third thing, that was 3. The fourth thing I do, or well, don't do, is watch the news. And when I say watch, I mean a long, extended period of time. I don't spend any more than a couple of minutes reading an article or looking at a quick couple-minute news clip. I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to be aware, which is why I do pay attention enough to news clips and news stories, but I don't sit and consume it continuously. The 5th thing is, again, it's a don't. I don't spend too much time on social media. I do have this YouTube channel and I do have a Facebook account, and that's it. And even with Facebook, I am very limited on the time I spend. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is there is a lot of not great things on there because of our current situation in our world today. But the other reason is that comparison game, and I don't want to allow myself to enter into it. And so if I'm not really scrolling for a long period of time, then I'm really not going to enter into that comparison space, and it's safer for my own heart and my own frame of mind. So the sixth thing I don't do is I don't dwell on negative things or poor situations. In fact, when people ask how I'm doing, I intentionally say, I can't complain. And the reason I say that is because if I've just said I can't complain, well then I really don't have room to start talking and complaining. And it doesn't allow me to dwell on the negative. I'm not saying I don't vent. I do vent, but I vent and move on. And I don't dwell on those negative things. And the seventh of my list is a do, and I do work out. Working out is not just great for my physical health, but it's amazing for my mental health. It really is where I can de-stress, and my body produces endorphins, which then increase your positive attitude. So those are my 7 tips on, or my do's and don'ts, whatever you want to call it, so that I personally can live joy-filled and free of anxiety.